60 minutes of your day, the Brian Bulaga Homer Hour. This could be the day. This could be the day in which Brian Bulaga says, yep, I'm playing college football again. I have entered the portal. News today from Jeff Goodman that, at least as he presented it, 4 players that he thought were out of college basketball eligibility have entered the portal. If they can, Bulaga can as well. I'm a little concerned that he has not pushed the envelope far enough that I may have to become his agent at no charge. Brian, have you entered the transfer portal?
I have not yet, and I have not read that article or got the details about it yet.
Have you explored the possibility, or will that be my responsibility? And are you okay with me exploring the possibility of your eligibility?
You can explore the eligibility, but I don't know if I want you to shop me. I don't know if
No, I will not shop you. I just want to find out. That's good. I just want to find out if, in fact, you might be eligible to play college football again. That's all.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. I'd like to know.
And I'm not sure who I have to get in touch with. I talked with Jay Billis, but I might. Jeff Goodman, I know. He's a basketball guy, but the Institute, feel free as to whether or not, and yes, if they agree and they resolve this court settlement, the NCAA has already said they're thinking of certain rules. They mentioned it today. One would include a 5-year eligibility. But at the present time, and if that is not resolved this year, oh, baby, I'm coming to watch Brian Bulaga play.
I don't know if I could still hang, though. I told you that. These kids, man, they're big, they're strong, they're fast. I don't know if I could hang. And I'm like 265.
I have enough faith in Brian Bulaga because now you know what's happened to the you've become a hot topic. With the discussion about the Packer draft, everybody's come to the conclusion wisely that all the Packers need to do with the 23rd pick is get another Brian Bulaga. You want a player who can be a starter, a vet of 10 years plus, which of course you were. Anyway, I will explore. Now, the issue is going to be there's so many aspects of it. I assume that if you played college football again, you would prefer to play for Iowa. Am I right there?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Now, if not Iowa, I got to believe there's a certain amount of money that would interest you in playing somewhere else. I don't know what that figure is, but would you be willing, if it was the best availability and Iowa was not part of it, would you play somewhere else for one more year?
Money always talks.
Yeah.
We all know that, and that's the way the world works.
Yes.
That's the way the world works.
I would if I become your agent, I would like 0.5%.
See, that's what agents should be taking now. That's more than fair.
Yeah. They shouldn't get anything. You should say, I can have my kid take the notes from all the people that would call. So
agents take way too much.
Yes,
it's ridiculous.
Well, no, and why someone has an agent, it doesn't make any sense, right? All you have is people calling you.
Yeah, they overcomplicate things at times.
Yeah. And if you don't have one, you just call the mother of AJ Storr, who's been the greatest agent in the history of humanity, with what she's done for her son, who has played at 4 different high schools. I don't know if he got any there. And he will now be at his 4th college.
That's unbelievable.
Yes,
that's literally unbelievable.
And still, I don't know. Do we have him where AJ Storr is? He was at St. John's for a year. Rick Pitino came in and said, not interested. Then he goes to Wisconsin. Then the word was last year he wanted $1 million, his mom, or his agent, and Wisconsin said no. Kansas said no and then changed their mind, and he didn't even play that much. Again, I don't claim to be accurate on any of this, but it seemed to be somewhat fair. Now he's going to go somewhere else, but I have not heard where, because he's worth something to someone, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone finds value.
Yeah.
Someone finds value.
So, but The thing everybody should follow, if in fact they're following it for college
AJ
sports.
Storr is going to play for Ole Miss.
Oh yes, for the guy from the guy Beard.
Yep, Chris Beard.
Which really impresses me because I didn't think that he was good enough. The style of his play, AJ Storr, to play for Beard. So we need to get in touch with his mom again and probably have her on the show because I'd like her to work on you if you decide to play because there's nobody who can get a better deal for you than.
I'd like to hear her. Yeah, I'd like to hear her negotiating.
Yeah,
style.
okay.
I'd like to hear.
So
that.
you would be okay for a future show getting her on. We're not going to do Thursdays because that's the draft, but in the near future, at some time, you would be okay with AJ Storr's mom coming on.
I'd love to hear.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear how she does it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it requires anything. You just
she's got to be tough. She's got to be tough.
Well, I mean, I just look at all the numbers. Yes, she was definitely tough at the time with Wisconsin and Kansas, but I mean, I don't know what she would have done if Kansas hadn't changed. She would have gone to. Maybe we can ask her that. What would? I mean, like I say, look, if you can get $1 million reportedly for AJ Storr, you got to be able to get 1.5 for Brian Bulaga. So anyway, all right, we'll put that on the back burner because the discussion right now is about the draft, and I don't know if people are coming around. To me, the reason you want to go to the draft is because it's an event that I know they said it was in Milwaukee in the Old Testament, but come on. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and as everybody, I think, is learning, the draft is just one part of putting a team together. And we had a debate on Friday with Gary Ellison, who said that Goody has been a great general manager. And I said, no, he's been a good general manager. I wouldn't say great. And I said, I am curious to get the vote of Brian Bulaga. If you want to vote. Has Goody been a good or a great general manager?
I think I go in the category of a little bit better than good.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I know.
And I don't think I say great because I think once you win a Super Bowl, then you can start getting a great GM title. That means you built a great roster to win a championship.
Yep.
And that's the way I look at it. And Goody's built really good rosters, right? Like, I mean, we could all say it. We've seen them play. I was a part of multiple of them. So I can say that, like, he's put together good rosters. There's a lot of talent on the field. But to get the great tag, you got to win the big one. And that's the way I look at it. And if you were to ask him too, he would probably be honest with you and say, do I think I'm great to get that title? You probably need to win it all. And that's the way it works in the business. Like you can't be called great or the greatest or whatever you want to say unless you have one of those things, the championship behind your name. And that's what he's missing right now. But he's put together really good teams. So great, no, but I think he's been a really good GM. I do.
And I say that because and I would say it's fair to say that if he had better success in the first round, he might be great because he has certainly built a good team. And I also think you have to assess his last couple of drafts and feel more confident than previously. Even with questionable first round picks.
Yes.
He's really improved the team.
That's what I'm saying. He's doing it with second and later round picks.
Yeah.
Which is the most impressive part, right? Like, I get everyone wants the first round picks to hit and be the absolute superstar studs. And that's what everyone expects. And that's what everyone wants. And I get it because there's a lot of investment on that pick. But you have to look at the entire body of work of a GM throughout a draft and those players that hit and stay around and end up being impact players. And there's a bunch of them from his drafts. So, like, you got to look at it from a whole. And that's the way I look at Goody as a GM is not just from the first round picks. Yes. Could there be improvement there? Yes, I will say it. I am not like people like you sometimes you protect the organization. No. Yeah, there are some first round picks that need improvement. I get that. But You look at the other picks throughout the draft and in his draft classes, fantastic picks, impact starters. Just look at the last draft. So, like, I think he's been very good in the draft.
Talking with Brian Bulaga, Goody spoke. We will get to it. I never put this high on the priority because Goody never says anything, and I don't think he feels like he needs to. And so I'm not going to say he doesn't tell the truth. But, for example, he was asked today about is it SO? What is it, the SO? Whatever the thing that does all the statistics about, and it's on a scale of 1 to 10, ROS or S.
Oh, yeah. Is it the ROS?
I think so. And he goes, we don't use that. Well, fine, you don't use that one, but I'm sure you have one that judges the athletic abilities or skills, and that one may be important to you. So, again, you look at what he does. Look at what he does. And so, because that's all you have to observe. And yes, you're going to still ask him the questions, and I'm not offended by. I would be even worse. I would purposely be boring and say absolutely nothing. To what benefit is it to me to say anything that indicates what I might do? Because that makes my job tougher against the other teams, right?
Yep. Yeah. That's essentially why they played the clip for me on KBN, why he said, like, we're going to take the best player available. We don't really look at positional need. So, yeah, why would he give another team an indication of what they may do? There's no point.
And then you have to worry about, okay, so he's a liar. Well, does that mean that if you're a liar, then they'll assume that the person you say you're going to take is one they can rule out that you won't take? So now you have to decide what kind of a liar you're going to be, if you're going to be a liar. And I think as a result of his direction under Ted Thompson, I just think that they just avoid being a part of that conversation. And if anybody does talk, and maybe we can ask Jason when we talk to him later on Thursday, I think if you do talk, you're just gone.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember any leaks or any chatter during this time of the year when I was a player. Like, there was never any chatter about who's going to be taken or an early leak there was none of that because it was very tight. It's kept in-house. Like, Ted Thompson, you saw Ted's interviews. They were not very entertaining, so to speak. He'd crack a joke now and then, and that would be about it. And that would be all you would get from Ted. And Goody, obviously he's younger, but like Goody takes on a lot of that same type of persona with, like, he doesn't give you much. Like, he just doesn't have to, but he just doesn't. Telling you we're going to take the best player available is exactly what Ted would say. Like, it fits the mold, because why would you let the rest of the league know what you're going to do? There's no point. There's no point to do that.
I always try to think, what would I say? I might say what the general draft is, like it's good, which category or whatever, or there's whatever I could say that provides no value. Like we rate players from 1 to 7. And usually they're 51s, and this year they're 36, or, something that really doesn't give any indication about anything, but might provide some information. I hear that, like, it's a good draft for offensive linemen, or seems to me that they say this year they're like 3 players. They think maybe 4. The 4th one's an offensive lineman that would certainly be it. I don't know where he's going. I thought the tight end for Penn State was as impressive a player as I saw all year at any position. What's his name?
Yeah, Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like,
I like him.
Unless there's something where things are different in college football, but yeah, I think he's. I expect him. I don't know that I could pick a Hall of Famer. But I'll be shocked if he isn't the best tight end, like not the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl's kind of made up, but first team All-Pro. That means you're the best at that position. I'll be shocked if he doesn't win that at least once in his career. But
Oh, he's a stud.
Yeah.
Like, and like that's it. Here's the thing: if that guy falls to you, you got to take him.
Oh, yes. Every team every team there is, regardless of the current tight end you have. But I don't. I guess where is he scheduled to go? Top 10? I would guess. I don't know. Pebble, do you watch this stuff? You look at it?
Oh, of course, yeah. He's supposed to be somewhere like in the middle of the pack, probably.
8 to 10, somewhere in there.
Yeah, somewhere between 10 and 15, probably.
Yeah, and I would have him higher, but there must be something. I mean, usually they're not tall or he doesn't. I don't know. He just seemed like he tilted the field.
He seemed like he's too good to be true.
Yes,
like is what it
right.
What
and I've never been overly impressed with Penn State's offense. On the right. But with him, the offense was good because they had to deal with him.
They threw him the ball all the time.
And so the other defense had to deal with him, and so now the other players looked a little bit better. So anyway, round 2, a little sad. I thought today could be the day when Brian Bulaga, the first NFL player to declare that he is entering the portal. Not so. There's still a chance. I would say the best chance is this year, because I think when they institute the new rules and when they settle this in court, it's not going to be as likely or likely at all. But they may have the old rules for one more season. And then, starting at left tackle, 62 years old, Brian Bulaga. Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound on 894, still dealing with a crash just south of, or just about at Lincoln Avenue. This is off on the left shoulder. Still seeing delays all the way back to about North Avenue. Northbound slowing down from Blue Mound Road all the way past Capitol Drive. Eastbound 94, you got some backups from 76th Street all the way through to 35th. Southbound on 43, backing up from just south of Keefe down through the Marquette to the KK River. Northbound is backed up from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly clear, not as windy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, chance for midday showers, thunder with a high of 53 at the lake, 60 inland. Weather is brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Visit any of their 6 locations in Milwaukee Market today. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I think that's right in the range that Emeka Egbuka would be there. I think it's possible that Ted McMillan could be there.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
We're speculating. It shouldn't be that hard. Like, either you want to play for the Steelers or you don't, right? Like, what are we waiting for?
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The I-94 rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the Crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Elwoods, Milwaukee, Spanky's Waterford, Oak Barrel Tavern, Milwaukee, Camp Bar Wauwatosa, and J&B's Blue Ribbon, Milwaukee. That's Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials.
Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
This is the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Goody talks, and we will respond. That would be the Brian Bulaga Homer Hour. But first, Brian Bulaga, he's made it. He's got a partner that wants him to talk about it. Smart Group. Take it away, Doc.
That's right, Homer. ESPN fans, I'm here to talk to you about my friends at Surfside. Living in Florida, I'm out on the golf course a lot. And when it's time to reach for a cold beverage, it's always going to be a Surfside iced tea and lemonade plus vodka. That's right. It's just about golf season in Wisconsin. Homer knows it. I know it. We all know it. And there's no better drink to enjoy on the course. It's light, refreshing, and made with real vodka. Surfside tastes cleaner than all those other drinks and doesn't leave that nasty, sugary feeling in your mouth. Plus, there's a great variety of flavors, like my favorite, half tea, half lemonade, strawberry lemonade, peach tea, and so many more. Only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugars, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so you won't be feeling bloated and full after a drink or two. Cheers to hitting the fairway, and cheers to Surfside. It's tea time. Must be 21 years or older. Please drink responsibly.
Yeah, I will be heading over to Pebble. Where can I get it? I'll probably go to Ray's. I'm in Tosa.
I think I've seen it.
They got to have it. Too. Yeah, Pick and Save too. Get some Surfside. Be watching the NBA. I'm as excited about the playoffs as I have been in 20 years. Man, was that a great game. Houston against Golden State last night, though I fell asleep in the second half, but still.
You know what I fell asleep watching?
What?
The Grizzlies get smashed.
Oh, that was ugly.
Yeah, I turned that on.
Yeah.
I fell asleep watching that.
But what you learned from there is just how good Oklahoma City is. I don't care if a playoff team, I don't care what day, that that was like a bad junior high game. How can one team be that good and another be that bad in that game? So it just made me think just how good Oklahoma City might be.
Yeah, and their best player had his worst game of the season.
Yes.
Statistically.
Because they didn't need him.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the other games, the Knicks had a great game. They came back, and Boston, I'm kind of taking that one for granted. But there was another one that I liked, and I think they're just so many teams. Cleveland might. I don't know how good Cleveland is. And then, of course, you have the Bucks. And please remember about the NBA playoffs, the series doesn't start, as George Karl said, until someone wins on the road. The Bucks could get crushed again in Game 2. I don't think they will. But doesn't start until Indiana beats them at home. Otherwise, it could be 2-2 going into Game 5. But, yeah, Surfside. What are the games tonight? I think Detroit. That's the other one. They're on Detroit, and the Knicks. Detroit was so far ahead. They're just so many good teams to me this year.
Yeah.
Your state. Go ahead.
My wife actually said, "Since when do you watch basketball?" I go, "I don't know. It's the NBA, and it's on. Why not?" And I turned on that snooze fest, and she goes, "This is what we're watching." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Clippers Nuggets on the night.
Oh, yes, Clippers and Nuggets. Well. Fantastic game. Clippers are really good. Somehow they seem to find a way to lose, and the Nuggets but anyway, your state, your team. She has a reason to be upset, and I say this every year, but if you don't like the NBA, it's because you watch regular season games. The best basketball in the world is the NBA playoffs. They play hard, and it's just great basketball, even better this year, other than Game 1. I think Whatever Oklahoma City beat Memphis by, I think they could have beaten them by 80.
Yeah.
They just, they just took off the. They didn't try it. They still. I don't even know what they won. What they went by because I was gone too. I left at 60. It was about 50 at half.
I think they beat them by 50 or so.
By 51, 131 to 80.
All right.
Yeah.
Even I will say this: I like Surfside, but I think even it would have been tough for Surfside to make that game interesting. Your state, your teams, your ESPN, the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app, a customizable. I got to come up with a homepage you can custom exactly for you. I don't think customizable is a word. Is it, Pebble? It's not one that I've ever used.
I don't use it rarely. I don't think I've ever used it actually. But
Brian, have you ever used the word customizable? I don't think.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's like the word that I don't like that they use instead of being a physical.
I guess it is a
game.
word. It can be modified to suit a particular individual or task.
Fine. It's like physicality. I've never used that word in a Marquette basketball game, and I never will. You want to be physical. You want to be tough.
Or how about speed and space is another one.
Yes. It was pretty simple the way it used to be said, and I didn't think it needed an improvement. A homepage that you can custom exactly the way you want it. Much better. Easier and quicker live listening. Your shows at the touch of a fingertip. The ESPN Wisconsin app, available on Apple and Android app stores. Just remember, what used to be Wisconsin On Demand is now ESPN Wisconsin. Better name. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app today. All right, what do we have from Goody that Brian Bulaga can comment on?
All right, so we already talked about a couple of the ones on KBM. We'll get to those as well a little later on. But one of the things that Goody talked about today during his presser was how to measure successful NFL
I'm curious
draft
to hear
night.
this. Yeah.
Again, the unpredictability of the draft is real, but I think for us it's just a matter of, we take a lot of pride in the people that we bring into this locker room. We're obviously chasing things that are really big around here, and we got a very good football team with some really good guys in that locker room. And the guys that we bring into this locker room, to me, need to be the kind of guys that are going to fit into that culture and add to it. And so this every year, this is an opportunity to do that. The culture of your football team, comes from your players, and so that's a big part of what we're doing.
I translate that because I'm sure that you understand this better than we do, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, what he's saying is essentially the success. I mean, obviously, what he's not saying is the success of it is how good of players he bring in. That's like Captain Obvious, but he doesn't say that. From the player's standpoint, especially from the guys in the locker room, is how does this group fit in with the players and how do they mesh and how do they eventually end up playing together? Because that's the final piece. Because these guys that are coming in as rookies won't play well if they don't gel well with the guys in the locker room. That's literally what it is. If there's a culture clash and these guys don't mix well with the locker room, well, they're not going to play well. So that's
what does that mean, mix well? Talk, be nice?
That just means that if they bring in guys that aren't a good culture fit, that it's not going to work.
That they're selfish, don't care about the team, just care about themselves. I don't know what.
Yeah, bad team guys.
All right,
bad team guys. Yeah.
All right.
They're not team guys. And that was something that I've always told you about my time in Green Bay. It was something that rarely happened, that guys got brought in that locker room that weren't all about the right stuff. Guys always were. And I don't know if that was because the big dog in the locker room, number 12, made sure it was that way, or everyone knew to stay in line. But the locker room was tight. Everyone knew kind of where they were in the locker room. There was a hierarchy. Guys knew where they were, and that's the way it was. And good guys continually got brought into the locker room. And I'm certain that's what Goody's getting at here, that they bring in high quality character guys that fit in well with this group, so that when they get into practice and they get into games, that they gel well with the current guys that are there, so that they max out their opportunity and potential to play well, so that those picks hit. And that's what I take from it. Because if you could bring in a great player, a phenomenal player, and he gets in, say, to the DB room, right? And he gets into it doesn't matter what room, the O-line room. I'll just say to the O-line room, you bring in a left tackle and he does not work well at all with his left guard, and he does not want to listen to the center's calls. He's not going to play very well in this offense.
Are there such people that exist in the NFL?
I'm sure there are.
Okay.
I haven't met a bunch of them.
All right.
I mean, I haven't met a bunch of them because, like, fortunately, even in LA, there wasn't too many of those guys. I mean, I didn't spend a whole bunch of time there, but in my time in Green Bay, it just wasn't the case.
Because, Mike, the question everyone's going to have is, and this was an issue when Bart Starr was the coach, like, yeah, he wants great people. Nah, I want the best players. And but from what you're saying, and I would assume that it has not to do just with Rodgers, because I'm guessing Goody is there's only so big a jerk a team will take. And that's true of every team, but some take a little bigger jerk than others. And I assume that the Packers are probably low on that. And they've won, so it hasn't been like they've been able to succeed with this approach, right?
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay doesn't. They normally don't go down that road, right? Like they'll pass on guys like that because they don't want to disrupt the culture in the locker room. It's been a certain way for so long that why bring in somebody that can disrupt that and change that? And if they do make a mistake and bring in a guy, he will be gone quick. He won't hang around very long. So, like, they're very good at making sure they find quality guys that fit in well and are all about the right stuff. And are, in Goody's terms, that are all about ball. That's and LaFleur too. They all want guys all about ball, and I get it. But it's making sure that the culture fit is right, and I get it. Everyone, like you said. Everyone wants the best player. Who cares about his personality? Make him fit in. You can't make guys fit in. Like, it doesn't work that way. Like, you can't make a guy behave a certain way. He either wants to do it or he's just not going to do it, right? And that's all a guy's mindset. So, like, you have to find those guys that are going to be all about the team and buy into a culture and be about it, or you have to figure out, are they not that type of guy and pass? So, like, that's what Goody, I think, and Green Bay as a whole, from a scouting standpoint, is really good at, or finding those types of guys.
Brian Bulaga, the Homer Hour, and more from Goody that will be commented on by Brian Bulaga. And if you're wondering, no, even based on Thursday's conversation, he has yet to enter the transfer portal. And please understand, it might be that he cannot enter the transfer portal. And I'm sure he doesn't want anybody thinking he can just because I bring it up. Have I made myself clear, Pebble?
Crystal.
Right. So if anybody doesn't get it, then it's not on me, it's on them. Would you agree, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, that's very clear.
Next.
Very clear.
The Homer Hour is back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
They finally cleared this accident at Lincoln on 894 southbound. Delays are still there, though, so we've got backups through the zoo interchange. They actually start at about North Avenue, so give yourself that extra time. On the northbound side of 41, we're seeing delays from Blue Mound Road all the way up to Capitol Drive. Eastbound 94, pocket of heavy traffic from 76th Street to Hawley Road, and then again coming out of the Stadium interchange almost to 27th. And then southbound 43, backing up from Keith through the Marquette all the way down to the KK River. Northbound's backed up just north of the Marquette all the way up to Keith. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly clear, not as windy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a chance for midday showers. There will be some thunder with a high of 53 at the lake, 60 inland. Weather is brought to you by Lake Lawn Resort. Summer's around the corner. Get ready for boating, fishing, and paddleboarding on serene Delavan Lake. Make the most of your season at Lake Lawn Resort. Book your adventure today at lakelawnresort.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni Frozen Pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screamin' is about.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wildy?
Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
According to American writer H.L. Mencken, a well-stocked bar can create over 17 billion different cocktails. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. I don't know if 17 billion is accurate or not, but I do know that Discount Liquor is the place to find everything you need to be well-stocked for any occasion. Discount Liquor is Wisconsin's home to over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,500 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines. Our unparalleled selection is rivaled only by our incredible savings and everyday low prices. And we know how to take care of our customers, no matter the occasion. In fact, Discount Liquor has won numerous national and local awards. Visit Discount Liquor at our Milwaukee or Waukesha locations. Family owned and operated since 1960.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
In Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow. Check out our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin, upload a photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. Yes, you heard me correctly. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including a design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Lugstone shower. GoodKarmaBrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
1, 2, you know what to do.
It is the Brian Bulaga Homer Hour with the draft coming up on Thursday. When are you going to be available at the draft? Are you going to be around? Will you sign autographs for anybody? I don't know what the rules are. Should I wear a Brian Bulaga jersey?
We're doing a show on Thursday.
I know, but that's just you're all around and about. You're not going to just sit in the bathroom the rest of the time you're in. Don't you walk around and be Brian Bulaga? I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, so you'll if people ask, you'll sign autographs. I don't know how you are. I don't want to speak for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll sign autographs.
I was trying to go. I'm thinking I'll ask Jeff if he has a Brian Bulaga jersey. There's only so much I'm going to pay. I was thinking of asking him what the cheapest jersey he has. So I don't know.
Hopefully, he wouldn't say mine.
No, it's definitely not yours. No, I was thinking Kevin King. Clinton Dix. Was it like $29.95? I think on some, but that's more than people need to know. Our Discount Liquor Twitter poll question does have to get the approval of Brian Bulaga. We've put it up, but we will take it down unless he approves. Read it so that he can vote as well.
Yeah, so today's Discount Liquor Twitter poll question, you can find it at the Homer Hour on Twitter, at ESPN Milwaukee on Twitter. If he was eligible to play college football again, could Brian Bulaga start for his beloved Iowa Hawkeyes after being out of football for the last 3 years? Yes or no?
I, of course, vote yes. 2 questions for you. You don't have to vote, but will you allow that to remain as the Discount Liquor Twitter poll question, or would you like us to use another one?
No, you can keep it. You can keep it. And do I think I could?
Tell the truth.
I mean, I would always back myself to win a job. I would always, but do I think I could beat out a 21 or 20-year-old kid? I just don't know. I don't.
All right, which would be the position that would give you the best chance?
It would be one of the tackle spots for sure.
Right.
It'd be one of the tackle spots. It's just I just don't move quite like a 20-year-old anymore. So that's the only my downfall right there.
All right, now the reason I mention this is that the NCAA has come out with players who will be allowed to hire agents, but for the athletes to receive the benefits, the NCAA will require them to be enrolled full-time, meet Division I progress toward degree requirements, and earn the benefits during their 5-year eligibility period. I think that currently is not being enforced. Well, COVID was an issue, so if in fact this would occur, then that would prevent Brian Bulaga from attempting to come back. Actually, I'm not even sure.
I have no idea.
I'm not sure you're attempting to come back. I am attempting to see if you have the possibility to come back, because I think it would be cool. My interest in it getting you closer to a college degree, you've made it clear that's not high on the list of why you would do it. So, all right. Bulaga has said, the doctor of football, that in fact we can keep it up, and we'll see what people vote. All right, what do we have else from Goody? And this is all for Brian to respond, because I have not much interest in what the GMs say at this time of year.
A couple more clips from Goody today during his availability to the media ahead of the NFL draft this Thursday in the first round. A couple questions about first-round picks and them basically being able to contribute right away on the team. We've seen Rashawn Gary take a while to get going, Lucas Van Ness take a while to get going. Jordan Morgan didn't contribute much last year at all. So first-round picks the last few years haven't contributed much, but they asked Goody, do first-round picks need to contribute right away? And here's what Goody had to say about that.
No, I think you'd love to, but a lot of you guys have been around here. It's great when they do, but that's not always the case. And this is the transition to the National Football League is tough. It's not always easy. A lot of times it's really determined by opportunity. You know what I mean? If you take a guy in a particular area, that he's just going to have a lot more opportunity than somebody else, and we try to stay away from that drafting for need. We try to just, take the best player available if that's possible. But most of the time, a guy's impact in his rookie year comes down to the opportunities that he had more than anything.
All right, I will translate for Goody, and then Brian can talk. Look, if we're good, we're going to be drafting late. And if we're a good team, and I think we are, that person drafting late, no, I don't want him to be able to play the first year, because that tells me I got a good football team. Those that play in the first years are usually an indication that you're a little weak or might be weak at a certain position, not the caliber of that player. All right, take it away, Brian. How did I do as a translation?
Yeah, that's fair. And to his point is, it's an opportunity-based pick too. Like, if you draft a guy and saying an offensive line group like I was in, I didn't get an opportunity to start. I was behind Cliffy and Tausch, so I wasn't going to start unless something happened, and something happened to Tausch. So it is based on opportunity, and some guys get some and some guys don't. But I still think at the end of the day, the expectation is that they should be ready to go and able to play immediately. At least I think. You're not picked in the first round to be a project, so to speak. You're picked to be ready to contribute. And to me, that's kind of where I look at is that, I wasn't asked to be a starter right away. I had a few weeks to develop, I guess, throughout the season. But I was asked to contribute now. Like, I didn't start, but I played pretty much the entire game against Buffalo. Chad played one series against Buffalo, came out, and I played the entire game against Buffalo at left tackle my rookie year. Like, that was week 2. So, I was asked to go play right away as well. And then I went and played right tackle when Tausch came out. So, guys are as a first-round pick, you should be expected to go contribute and play at a high level right away. At least that's the way I expect it to be.
How does it factor in the number? Like a top 5, top 3, I would think right away, maybe unless it's quarterback, but I don't know, at 23.
I think, the later.
But you didn't really think you were 23 anyway, so we should factor that in.
Yeah, I guess that sure. But if you're a top 10 guy, and like quarterback, like you said, that's all up for debate too. If you're a top 10 guy and say you're a tackle, DN, whatever, you're expected to go play at a high level.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it.
And probably right away, because the reason they picked you that high is that they might have a weakness there or not a strength as the other positions. But, yeah, either way, you damn well better be good.
Yes, you better be good. Like you're getting picked and paid a lot of money, too. A ton of money. So that's that. But I think as the later you get in the draft, like you said it, teams are picking later because they're better. So like they have a better filled out roster. There's less holes, and it's where are these GMs finding guys to not necessarily just fill holes, but to maybe bolster positions and find quality depth that eventually become starters. And that's where I think Goody's coming from in that.
And the good GMs, if they're bad at tackle, aren't necessarily just going to take a tackle unless that player is at the top of their list. That's how you get. I think that's how you get to be a good team.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Like that's why I think part of why Green Bay's always done what they've done is take best available, because if you're at a position where they normally are, and that's later in the draft, and you draft best available, and you may have a couple of good players in that position. Well, if you add another really good player to that position, it just makes the rest of the team and group compete harder and better, and you can deploy guys in different spots. So to me, it makes sense what he said. But my expectation is first-round picks need to be ready to go. They need to be ready to play.
All right, and here's my question for you, and it may have happened very soon. And I only bring this up because when I played tennis, I did make the nationals, and I remember it'd take long for me to say, I don't belong here. Like I'm they say if you don't know who the stupid one is in the poker table, it might be you. I'm like, dude, but I'm guessing everybody, I mean, you had to feel that way. I don't know, when you go into college or when you go into the pros, how good it must feel, how quickly you realize I can play here. I mean, I'm okay. Let's see what it happens. And I'm guessing that probably occurred pretty quickly for you.
Yeah, I had that initial moment of like, oh man, how's this going to work out? Like going against Clay in OTAs, that was tough. Like, never seen a guy like that before. Like, you know what I mean? I just never seen a guy that fast, that strong, with those many pass rush moves. And it took me a week to figure out like my game against his game and how to like adapt to that type of player because he was so unique. But once I settled in and we got into training camp and I started blocking him and I had success against him, that's when I was like, okay, like I know how good Clay is. Clay is really good. Like he's one of the best pass rushers in the league. Like there's not many guys better than him. So if I block him in practice, and I know he's going really hard because he wants to beat the rookie. He always wanted to beat the rookie, especially a first-round rookie. And I was a pick higher than him or 2 picks higher than him. Like, so he had a chip on his shoulder that I got picked higher than him. So he always wanted to beat me. So like, if I would block him at a good clip in practice, it gave me confidence that I could go out and block guys in a game. And that to me was why I always take practice so serious, is because if you can block high level guys on your team in practice, it should give you the confidence in the game to go out and do it. And that's where I got a lot of it, because I didn't get the reps in the game early on, besides that Buffalo game that I mentioned. But I got all my reps in practice, and that's where I had to get my confidence.
And you were right in your analysis, as was I. I got my butt kicked by some kid from UCLA who you don't need to know his name. All right, fourth quarter coming up with Brian Bulaga. More of his comments on Goody next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker. It's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe. A special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky. The drop stab.
That's his favorite.
And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SAND25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SAND25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SAND25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Sarah, how are you going to do a raised vegetable garden on this tiny condo balcony?
Grab that Craftsman drill and let's hang that trellis on the ceiling.
We've got the value you need to do things your way. Like all pairs of Skechers, buy one, get one half price. And Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, now with 25% more coverage per bag, just $59.99 after $10 rebate.
Upside down tomatoes, here we come.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Nestled along the shores of Lake Michigan, the Knickerbocker Hotel offers a timeless escape in the heart of Milwaukee. Immerse yourself in the rich history of this iconic landmark where charm meets modern luxury. Picture yourself enjoying breathtaking lake views, luxurious rooms, and dining at one of the finest restaurants in the city. Whether you're visiting for a weekend getaway or a special occasion, the Knickerbocker promises an unforgettable experience. Your perfect stay awaits at the Knickerbocker Hotel. For more information and to book your next stay, visit knickerbockeronthelake.com.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
A Brewers group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Whether it's a birthday party, anniversary, or bachelor party, baseball is better with a group. Grab your crew of just 15 or more for an event you won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite location at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
61% say Brian Bulaga could start for Iowa if he was eligible to play college football again. He doesn't think he is, but I think it seems everybody's entering the transfer portal. I'll do some research. American Place Casino, just a half hour south of Franklin, or 38 minutes if you want to be a pain. American Place Casino, yes, located in Lake County, Illinois. Great table games, great slot machines, great sports book, great food, and then all kinds of promotions. If you're not taking advantage of more than one promotion every time you're there, you're not doing your job. AmericanPlace.com. But I got one job. American Place Casino. Did I say? Just a half hour south of Franklin. Just a half hour south of Franklin. 38 minutes. All right, what do we have for Goody? One final wide receiver, Russ?
Yeah, he's not looking at the wide receiver position any differently this year, and then he feels good about the roster right now to compete tomorrow if they had to.
No, I don't think so. I feel really good about our roster right now. I think that's one of the. It doesn't happen every year. every year is a little bit different. But if we had to go play next week, I feel really good about our roster and our ability to win and go compete. So, really across the board. So, hopefully as this draft unfolds, we're able to just kind of sit back and select the best players that fall to us. That'll be, I think something we prepared ourselves to be in. So, no, I don't think we've looked at it really any differently other than certainly if there's an opportunity to take a player at that position that makes sense, we'll do it. But I don't think we feel like we need to do anything.
And Brian Bulaga, your comment on Goody.
Obviously, he was comfortable with the wide receiver group based on the free agent market and how he didn't address it besides Hardman, which, we'll see how he's utilized as the season rolls on. But clearly he was comfortable with it. But I do think that he is most likely going to address the wide receiver position at some point, whether that's first round or second round or third round. Simply based on the contract situation of that room. 2 guys are up after this year. 2 guys are up after next year.
And one guy's hurt.
Yeah, one guy's probably not going to be back till late this year. So I just feel like he's going to use capital in that room, and it's probably going to be first or second round capital. So, I mean, this is kind of goes back to what you and I are saying. Why is he going to tell anyone what he's going to do?
You're so nice. You are the nicest person. I don't know if that was the phrase they asked me, which I was offended they didn't pick me, but look he's lying. He can't say, for example, that Jair might not be there. They can use help at cornerback, and I think with the injury to Christian, they can use help. But I'm not going to say that, so I don't hold it against him, but you aren't going to say it. I just think he's just lying. He's not. If he says they need help in certain areas, then he's got to deal with players that are mad that he says we aren't any good.
That too.
What?
That too.
Yes. How would you have felt if you were playing and you hear him go, we need some help at that tackle spot?
Yeah, wouldn't be good.
No.
Wouldn't be totally happy.
Right, but you would know that if that's the case based on how they drafted, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Be very clear.
Yes, very clear. All right. ESPN National. I got to go get some, what am I getting? Oh, Surfside. I'm going with the iced tea version.
Yep.
All right.
Good idea.
You bet. Thanks to the Dot. National next.
We are seeing delays on northbound 41 from just north of Blue Mound Road all the way up to about almost Silver Spring. That's the road